What happens when the paladin doesn't save the girl? Join me as I play The Executioner's Daughter by Ashley Warren. This is my first experience with this adventure, and I have to say that I was completely shocked that I could make the decisions I made and still be a part of the story. My decision actually mattered. That's not even clickbait. Wait, I'm here all night? Oh, this is interesting. Wow, really? All right. I did not expect that I would party. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Like, I just made this character. Awesome. Not awesome. I wish I had that higher con mod now. Lay on hands is an action, y'all. I'm kind of blown away by it. So grab a drink and sit a spell while I spin you a tale of a Yuan-Ti paladin named Fenzira, who just happens to stumble upon a strange town during their yearly religious festival. You're not going to believe what happens next. And if you stick around to the end, you can find out how you too can join in on the fun and help me make the choices that end up in these videos. And now, The Executioner's Daughter. Soldra is a beautiful, ancient city, flanked by sea and mountain and lit by the sun as if blessed by the gods themselves. But its beauty comes with a price. After a tumultuous history fighting dragons that attacked and looted the city, the superstitious citizens of Soldra make an annual offering to appease the dragon god Bahamut. A virgin woman selected at random from Soldra's citizenry. Wow. Soldra's citizenry, that's a lot of S sounds, is exiled to Gara's Peak, where she is left at the mercy of dragons. None of the women have ever returned. This year's sacrificial ceremony does not go as planned. What will transpire on Gara's Peak? So that sounds fun. I hope we get to flip that trope on its head. I have high hopes from Ashley, so that'll be interesting. All right, we are ready. Is everyone ready to get right into this? The Plaza of the Sun. In the shadow of the stone tower that looms above the plaza, it is cool, but the many bodies stand in close. Proximity made the air humid. Oh, but the many bodies standing in close proximity have made the air humid. Ooh, timing really matters when you're reading out loud. The din of the crowd swells, and between the noise and the heat of the anticipation of what's to come, the atmosphere is stifling. You have found shelter and shade under the arched porticos that protrude from the edifice. Thick stone bricks comprise the walls and structures encased within the Plaza of the Sun. An ironic name, for the tall walls block out most of the natural light, and everyone stands within its shadow. Before you is the flat facade of the Temple of Bahamut. Above the large arched door hangs a beaten metal shield emblazoned with the profile of a dragon. To the left is a half-circle dais. The stairs lead to another large door, the entrance to the king's palace, where the ruler and his family reside. Atop the dais are 3 chairs, one each for the king, the queen, and the princess. And to the right, attached to the temple, is a tall, cylindrical tower. The top of the tower is ringed with triangles, resembling a crown, and a small spire protrudes from each point. This structure is simpler than the others, adorned with only one slatted window toward the very top and a small wooden door at the bottom. Under your feet, the stone is grouted with blood. Oh, that's creepy. Yeah, seems great. This is King's Entrance and a temple, and apparently executions happen here because there's blood everywhere. On any other day, your visit to Soldra would likely consist of a stroll through its bustling market, a luxurious meal of fish and rice on the beach, and perhaps an afternoon visit to the Temple of Bahamut to see a musical performance. But you have arrived in Soldra on its strangest day, and the whole city is tense, pulled taut like a bowstring. You've overheard mutterings that today is the day of sacrifice, a ritual revered by the people of Soldra. Soldra treats this day like a festival, despite the darker reality. The citizens are bedecked in jewel-toned finery, and the city has been scrubbed clean. apparently except for the blood in the grout. King Augustin presides over the ceremony, joined by Queen Catalina and their daughter, Princess Augustina. Soldra respects the king, for it is under his rule that Soldra has continued to enjoy peace and prosperity. What do you know about this event? Oh, I get to roll. First roll. First, like, proper roll. History. Apparently I don't. Oh, I'm proficient in history. Cool. 12. Alright. If you roll a 15 or higher. I did not roll a 15 or higher, so I probably don't much. You've heard enough chatter in the city to know that an offering is about to take place. A woman will be sacrificed to appease the dragons who used to frequently attack the city. You're not sure how the sacrifice is enacted, but people speak of it with both fear and fervor. Fear that one of their loved ones will be chosen, mingled with a sense of relief that the sacrifice will ensure another year of freedom from the dragon attacks. Ooh. Blessedly cool breeze meets your skin. As you turn to find the source of the fresh air, you see the crowd has gone silent and parted. An older man steps forward, dressed in a long black tunic that brushes the tops of his bare toes. His head is freshly shorn, covered only in a sheen of perspiration. His face is long and weary, and dark half-moons sag under his eyes. A thick silver chain is fastened around his waist, and on his left side hangs a sword in a rectangular scabbard. From the corner of your eye, you see a gray-haired woman in a gown the color of sapphire whisper to her companion dressed in rich purple. "It's the executioner," she says. Her harsh whisper holds scorn and disgust. The eyes of the crowd narrow at the man as he finds a place next to you. He is tall and wiry, and his line of sight extends over the heads of the crowd. Soldier's citizenry is relatively homogeneous. Around you is a sea of dark hair and dark eyes, and fair skin, protected from the sun with parasols and ornate scarves draped loosely over faces and shoulders. The executioner's black robe accentuates his pallor, and his eyes are a pale, watery blue. His furrowed brow gives his face a severe, dour look. The woman in gold nudges her companion. "You shouldn't speak ill of him. He does the king's bidding. He only condemns those who defy Bahamut." "I don't care," replies the woman in blue. "Anyone who does a gruesome job like that, it doesn't get cracked from the weight of it, disgusts me." Her friend sighs and fans her face with a gloved hand. "It's his daughter who disturbs me. They say she can control minds." No one dares to get closer to the executioner. He stands with his arms at his side, and you suppose that he is used to the negative attention. The whispers about him are cut short as the door near the dais opens and 3 people step out. The king emerges first. He wears a bejeweled crown that resembles the top of a tower, a ring of slopes and points. His dark hair and beard are streaked with gray, and he wears an outfit comprised of a rich, ruby-red brocade. He smiles joyfully at the crowd, which responds with cheers and claps. The executioner beside you stiffens at the sight of the king. Next comes the queen. She is not from Soldra, evident by her dusky skin and her vivid amber hair. So red it gleams like firelight in the shadow of the square. She matches her husband's finery, wearing a ruby gown inlaid with gold. Age has accentuated her features, and the king and queen make a handsome, regal couple. She takes the king's hand as they face their audience, and the crowd cries out their names. "King Augustine! Queen Catalina!" The king and queen turn towards the door, arms outstretched, and their daughter emerges. The crowd sighs and swoons when they see her, and she is a remarkable young woman. A mix of her parents, sharing her mother's beauty and her father's lean stature. Her auburn hair is wound into an intricate braid that circles her head, and she wears a silk vest and skirt the color of oxblood. Kind of strange to be wearing a dress the color of blood during a sacrifice. I guess they lean into a theme here. Princess Augustina smiles demurely, and takes her seat beside her mother. The king remains standing and addresses the crowd. Welcome, citizens of Soldra, he says. His voice booms and the sound reverberates around the square. You feel the low rumble of it in your chest. A powerful voice for a powerful man. I am honored to oversee another year of peace in Soldra. Chaos erupts around you, and the king waits patiently before continuing. At ease, at ease. Soldiers' peace and prosperity is hard won, he says. Our people have sacrificed much, and we continue to honor Bahamut with our annual ceremony. I thank the loyal members of my court for their vigilance in protecting Soldra from heresy and from those who would disrupt our rituals and way of life. The king lets this settle over the rapt crowd, hand outstretched towards the executioner. While some of the Soldrans nod their heads and murmur agreement, those near the executioner narrow their eyes at him, despite the king's accolades of his services. The king smiles and claps his hands. Let's begin the ceremony! As is tradition, Priest Nahum will select this year's offering. The king clasps his hands, a regal gesture. Once the offering is selected, she will be anointed. Then she will be escorted to Garra's Peak by our designated guide. At this, he points to the escort, who is, unsurprisingly, the executioner. Where she will wait her fate and serve Bahamut's will. High Priest Nahum! The king's voice is authoritative, and you are sure it can be heard through the thick stone walls. The door of the temple opens. A tall, dark dragonborn steps outside, dressed in long navy robes. His appearance is jarring, a stark break in the homogeny of Soldra's citizenry. The same profile of the dragon depicted on the shield above the temple door is embroidered on the dragonborn's vestments. He cradles a large silk pouch tied close with a cord. Thank you, my king, replies the high priest Nahum. This is a strong, clear voice. Oh, that wasn't a strong, clear voice at all. Of a priest well-versed in public speaking. I am pleased to lead another day of sacrifice. Daughters of Soldra, come forth. The daughters emerge from within the temple, tentative like a trickling stream. But still, they come. They must come, relentless as a river. What do you notice about the daughters of Soldra? Roll a perception check. Your eyes scan the group of girls and women huddled together. While many are young women, many are not. A handful are gray-haired, clasping hands with little wide-eyed girls. Like the crowd, they are dressed in finery, scrubbed clean, lacquered and rouged and powdered like dolls. Each wears a large silver amulet engraved with a dragon's profile, the holy symbol of Bahamut. One woman stands out among the rest. Her expression is serene, so very different from the neighboring expressions of fear and turmoil. She wears a simple black dress made of rough linen. Against the black fabric, her long flaxen braid glints like gold in the low light. She wears simple leather sandals, her wrists and ankles bereft of jewelry. You watch as she scans the crowd and settles on the executioner. Across the plaza, blue collides with blue as their eyes meet. The executioner's frown deepens as the girl in black gives him a small nod and a secret smile. Princess Augustina stands, smooths the front of her dress, and descends down the dais, joining the rest of the daughters. Queen Catalina watches the princess with worried eyes, white, pursed lips, and white knuckles. High Priest Nahum tugs at the pouch's cord, and it blooms open. He gives it a shake, and the contents shift and clink. Each of these coins in this bag bears the name of a daughter, he says. Each coin has been blessed by Bahamut himself, forged from the metals found in the depths below Garra's Peak. He glances towards the sky, as if waiting to see the shadowed silhouette of a dragon. But the sky remains cloudless and blue. Bahamut, we present you with this offering so that you may shield us from those who seek us to do us harm. We thank you for Soldra's protection. High Priest Nahum reaches into the pouch and pulls out a coin. His eyes widen, and he chokes in the name as he reads it out loud. Princess Augustina. The crowd stares, the way the faces of skeletons and catacombs have decomposed, with mouths open. The queen's anguished scream cuts through the shocked silence, and the crowd erupts in shouts and cries of agony. "Select another name!" someone shouts from across the plaza. This elicits both cheers and noises of dissent. "That's not how it works!" another soldier yells above the chaos. "The offering is chosen by Bahamut himself, and we must obey." High Priest Nahum glances back and forth from the coin to the king. The priest is in a dangerous position now. He has just condemned the princess, soldier's heir, and the king's only child to death, definitively ending the Augustan line. The executioner, too, is quiet, for he will have to escort Princess Augustina to Garris Peak and leave her for dead. Maybe Bahamut will show her mercy," offers another soldier. "We don't know for sure what happens to the daughters." Several voices overlap in response, giving the same rebuttal. We know that they never return. That's the whole point of the offering. Haven't you seen the bones on Taryn Trail?" The shouting escalates and swells. Chaos ferments in the humid plaza. The queen shouting at her husband. "Do something!" Princess Augustina is in tears, looking helpless at her parents. Many soldiers crowd around her, consoling her and reaching for her hands. The daughters disperse, finding their families, sagging in relief as being spared another year. "Take her instead!" The woman in blue flings out her hand and points at a daughter dressed in black, who lingers near the doorway of the temple. The crowd quiets immediately as the young woman looks calmly at her condemner. You watch as the daughter's eyes, such a vivid cornflower blue, that you can see the blueness from across the plaza, travel from the outstretched finger to the executioner. The daughter smiles at the executioner and nods. "I will take the princess's place," the young woman says, turning towards High Priest Nahum. "Bahamut asks this of me." The executioner balks and cries out, "Dominica, no!" The young woman, Dominica, holds up her hand. "It's all right, Papa. Remember the holy text. This is unprecedented. This is unprecedented," says the king. "Bahamut smiles upon you," Nahum says jovially to the king, regaining control of the ceremony. He beckons to the lower priest lingering behind him. "A daughter has been selected, and now we must proceed. Where are the wreaths and the oils? Thank you, Priestess Mara. You ask this of me, that I lead my own daughter to her demise?" The executioner interrupts. He fixes the king with a steely look, and you can see how years of killing on the king's orders have taken a toll. "Oh, it seems someone has cracked after all." "You have led many daughters of Soldra to their doom," responds the king. "You dare challenge the will of Bahamut? Your daughter's will? My will? You, who always acted as my faithful servant?" The crowd once again begins to argue. "Send her alone!" someone shouts. "She's no good as a sacrifice if she dies before she gets there," another retorts. The executioner's defiance wavers. The tears on his face fall in silent rivulets, and he looks truly harrowed. "I cannot," the executioner says, voice breaking. Do not ask this of me." The plea is directed towards his daughter, not the king. High Priest Nahum intervenes, cradling a small bowl of oil. "Perhaps another will accompany her in your stead." He looks out into the crowd. "Is there anyone willing to serve as Dominica's guide on the ascent to Garris Peak?" "Oh, I have 3 choices. Yes, I will take her to the peak. I will go with her for a price. Say nothing and continue observing." Ooh. This is interesting. I wonder, what would my character do? I don't know how she would feel about this. It is just another journey. There's nothing about her that would demand coin for it. But do I say nothing and continue observing? Getting more information? Or do I just agree right now? What do you think, Tina? You got any ideas? Observe more. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This isn't my town, right? So I like that. Alright, let's go to page 10. The crowd is silent, and the executioner is torn between grief and anger, narrowing his eyes at the soldiers who refuse to champion his daughter. I will go with you then, daughter, he says, resigned. Dominica shakes her head. You have made this treacherous journey far too many times, and you are too valuable to the king to perish at my side. I absolve you of this responsibility. The executioner opens his mouth to argue, but Dominica holds up her hand, and he goes silent. If you are proficient in Arcana, make an Intelligence Arcana check. I don't think I'm proficient in Arcana. No, I am not. I don't know what just happened. So you suspect that Dominica has just cast a spell to placate her father, but do not recognize the spell. Yeah, I would not, probably. The Anointing. 2 priestesses flank High Priest Nahum in front of the door of Bahamut's temple. The priest holds a bronze bowl full of fragrant oil. He dips 2 fingers into it and presses his oiled fingers to Dominica's forehead, chin, and the hollow of her throat. Recites something in Draconic. Do I know Draconic? I do know Draconic. Haha! We offer daughter to dragon, both creatures of beauty, comprised of blood and bones. We offer freely what thy once took. Huh. High Priest Nahum passes the bowl to the priestess on his right, who hands him a tightly wound circlet of laurel. Dominica lowers to her knees, and the High Priest Nahum places the wreath atop her golden plate. Bahamut guides you, Dominica. What voice was I using? Bahamut guides you, Dominica of Soldra, says High Priest Nahum. The priest leads to the procession to the city gate. Curiously, the executioner remains silent as he walks beside his daughter. Soldiers who weren't present in the plaza peer out of their windows, eager to see who was chosen as the offering. Wait, she absolves him and we still haven't picked someone? Okay. The procession reaches the gate and stands idly before large wooden doors that lead out of the city. On High Priest Nahum's command, the guards on the parapets above heave open the gate. Before you is a road. A mile out, the gravel path merges into a dirt trail winding upward through the craggy mountains. The range is jagged and pointed, like the serrated edge of a knife, and one point looms the tallest, Gara's Peak. Dominica carries nothing with her. She wears only sandals, the laurel crown, a black cloak, and the black linen dress that matches her father's garb. The crowd is silent as Dominica embraces her father. She whispers something to him that you cannot hear. Wait, cries the executioner. Please, if you must go with nothing, at least take this. He hurries towards his daughter, unbuckling the belt and sheath around his waist, and hands the blade to Dominica. She accepts it, embraces him, and walks away, her back to the crowd, to her father, to Soldra. Oh. If we haven't chosen, we go to page 12, Trial by Fire. What do y'all think now? I'm interested what's going to happen and how I'm going to be like, oh wait, Ketcha, wait up, I'm going to help you. Trial by Fire. Dominica proceeds alone to Garza's Peak. Once the gates are closed behind her, the crowd exhales a collective breath. It is over. Peace has been earned until next year. The celebration is held in the plaza. Merchants set up tables laden with food and drinks, and the wine flows freely. So the executioner remains in his tower, sitting in the window, looking beyond the city towards the distant spire of Gara's Peak. Night passes in a blur. A rare, harsh beam of sunlight penetrates through the shadows cast by the surrounding buildings. You awaken face down in the plaza, dirt and pebbles embedded in your cheek. You sit up and brush away the remnants of the previous evening. Your head pounds, your tongue parched from the abundance of wine and sugared pastries, and your body aches from a night on the ground. Wow, really? Alright. You're not alone in the plaza. Soldiers who have also slept off their drunkenness stir awake as the sun shines directly overhead. The hangover is collective, and like every year, the drinking was a coping mechanism. The remaining partygoers murmur and laugh to themselves as they reflect on the raucous evening the night prior. You stand and stretch, assembling the belongings that fell from your satchel. You think about breakfast with a wave of hunger and nausea. Perhaps there is a tavern open. The rest of the city gradually comes to consciousness. You stumble out and onto Soldra's main thoroughfare, and that's when the screaming begins. You look up to see a dragon flying overhead. Curiously, its body is shiny black like obsidian, and its wings and tail are edged in gold. It opens its mouth and expels a stream of fire, torching the buildings and the plaza. Oh shit! Oh shit! Is this because I didn't go and the girl didn't make it? Or is this because Bahamut chose the princess and we didn't send the princess? Oh, what do you think? Alright, what do you do? Attack the dragon. Use the new obsidian dragon stats. You may choose to fight alone or select any, all, or one of the allies. Or find a place to hide. No, I'm a paladin. I'm not gonna find a place to hide. Alright, cool. So we have me. And we have High Priest, Dragonborn, derived from Priest from the Monsters Manual. Okay, so we'll grab the Priest's badge, throw him down. I'm just gonna pull in a dragon. Even though I don't have this specific one, just for the art. Alright, cool. Alright, so I'm drunk. And let's roll initiative on all these. Oof. Wow. Yay, being a paladin. I got a 1 for my initiative. That's not painful at all. Look, I'm hungover, yo. Oh, and of course the dragon goes first. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. You look up and see a dragon flying overhead. Curiously, its body is shiny black like obsidian, and its wings and tails are edged in gold. It opens its mouth and expels a stream of fire, torching the buildings in the area. Killer. And then he's going to go again and come down. Look, I just want to attack me. I don't want to attack the people around me. So it's going to swoop around. I'm going to roll a d6 to see if it recharged. Recharge on a 5 or a 6. Okay, 4. Okay. So it can't recharge. It doesn't have multi-attack, which seems strange, but cool. And it's going to come at me with a shard claw. But he rolled a nat 20. That's not cool, dude. That's not cool. Like, I just made this character. Alright, critical hit, 9 points of slashing damage on me. Awesome. Oh my god. Alright, I wish I had that higher con mod now. So, it strikes at me, thank god it doesn't have a multi-attack. And tries to fly away. So I'm gonna take an opportunity attack on it. It should just land, because that's just easier, but, you know. Why would it land? Is it 15? And his AC is 16. It's not gonna do nothing. My sword hits its hide, thick hide, and does nothing. I am wounded, though. Anyway, that's the dragon's turn. Oh. The priest. What is the priest gonna do? I think he has Sacred Flame. Yes, he has Sacred Flame. Sacred Flame the dragon. Ooh, awesome. It failed. Cool. So then we do damage. 15 radiant damage. Awesome. Oh, he's only got 28? What the fuck? That seems... Okay, this is a baby dragon, apparently. Or it takes 28 points of hit points until it flies away. That could be it too. So it takes 15 points of damage. Alright, I'm gonna run up. And we're just gonna say that the dragon's like flying around. He's gonna swoop back in. I'm gonna hold my action, like stand in the middle, hold my action to hit him as he comes back down. And we're just gonna have that because his turn's next anyway. So we'll just pretend that that's what I'm doing because otherwise I can't hit him. So, we wait till he flies back in, get him with the longsword. 14. Oh, come on, Panzira. Do you have anything cool? What are your features? Oh, I did not even pick any of your spells. So that they don't count. Dragon gets to go next. Waiting for it. It's coming at me, and it decides to go mouth first, teeth first. So I try to like hit it, and my sword just like breaks a tooth, right? Not even doing any kind of damage. But he's gonna bite me with a dirty 20. Holy crap, dragon. You need to just not. 7 points of damage, but not great. Lay on hands is an action, y'all. But we still have that priest. Priest hit last time, so let's see if the priest can. He's gonna do another Sacred Flame. Dexterity saving throw. 10 on the black dragon. That's another fail. Come on, priest. 10 points of radiant damage. Amazing. So the dragon is super hurt. I'm going to drop my sword and grab my javelin because this dragon is flying everywhere and I'm having a hard time hitting him. So we're going to try with the javelin. We're going to say the dragon is flying around. I wait until he's within my range and then I throw the javelin. 10! Oh my god. Panzera, what are you doing? At this point, even if I'm standing in the middle, like, why would the dragon keep hitting me? I'm not even doing any damage. He's gonna go after the priest. And I don't like killing NPCs. I'd rather take the brunt myself. But it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so he doesn't have his breath weapon back. He's gonna come down and claw at the priest. 21 to hit! Oh god, even with only a +4. Yo. Alright, I hope this priest has some hit points. Hit points, 27. Okay, thank you. Thank you. He has 27 hit points. Priest is going to... Does priest have any reaction spells? Not anything good. He does have Guiding Bolt. You know what? He's gonna try Guiding Bolt right up the butt. Cast at... He's hurt. And why not? We're gonna cast it at 3rd level. I don't think that makes it any more likely to hit, but... That's a 20! This priest is killing it. I think I want to be the priest in this game, not myself. We're going to end this combat round. Take a drink. The end of that fight. There's fire everywhere. Mayhem. Ugh. The sun sets over a soldier. The bloodied corpse of the black dragon lies in the plaza of the sun. Soldiers gather around it, looking for answers from High Priest Nahum, whose robes are scorched and tattered. Soldiers gape wordlessly at one another, all wondering the same questions. What happened? Why wasn't our offering enough? The king and queen emerge onto the dais and to address the city, and the crowd turns hostile. We should have sent the princess, a soldier yells. We defied Bahamut, and now he punishes us. Or maybe the executioner's daughter never arrived, says another. She grew cowardly and ran away. Dominica would never abandon her duty, says the executioner. She has always been the most devout servant of Bahamut, and knows the god of dragons does not ask this of us. Don't you people see that the sacrifice is a lie? Soldiers being punished for her selfishness. Soldier is being punished for her selfishness, and it is about time the reckoning began. At the mention of Dominica's name, the black dragon's course suddenly jolts, syncopated with a crack of lightning from overhead. What? The evening sky, settling in a calm gradient, instantly turns black, masking all moonlight. The plaza is submerged in darkness, but a ray of light breaks through, enveloping the dragon. The dragon's limp body begins to levitate, and the crowd shouts and moves away from it. Higher and higher it floats, a strange sight as its lifeless limbs drift and float in midair. The light around it strengthens, a brighter and brighter golden, until it becomes too bright and you close your eyes, still able to see the glow of it through your eyelids. And then, once again, darkness. You can see nothing, but you hear the curious clinking of metal. Are the guards preparing for another attack? And as soon as the darkness came, it lifts. Like a sheet pulled from a lamp, a serene glow has taken its place. Where the dragon once lay lifeless, now stands Dominica. What? Her body is encased in shining golden armor. Guess who just became a paladin of Bahamut? Bahamut's profile emblazoned in black across her chest, and the laurel wreath remains fresh and whole atop her head. In one hand she bears a shield shaped like a dragon's wing. In the other she holds the executioner's sword, once a battered silver, now a gleaming obsidian, engraved with the illuminated draconic script. Do not think I came only with peace. I came with a sword. What the... The crowd balks at the executioner's daughter as she rotates in place, addressing the crowd. As a child, I was visited by the god of dragons, she says, her voice clear and strong. He told me, one day you will be called upon to lay your life down, and I want you to answer the call. And I promised that I would. In turn, he has infused me with his power, which I then used to aid those in suffering. She finds her father in the crowd. He regards her with shining eyes. Those who witnessed these gifts feared and scorned me. You do not recognize Bahamut's power and are therefore unworthy of it. But all is not lost. Bahamut has named me his champion to protect and defend the daughters of Suldra. In Bahamut's name I declare no daughter will be sacrificed ever again. Upon its smoldering remains, Suldra is made anew. And with this, Dominica lifts up her sword with both hands and brings it down in a fluid motion. The flat tip of the blade meets stone and sends a blast of energy throughout the plaza. You feel it pass through your gut, and the aftershocks continue to tremble underfoot. Golden light spreads through the cracks of stone, and the tendrils climb upward like illuminated vines, engulfing the tower and the palace and the temple. The plaza fills with Bahamut's blessing, Dominica's radiance, the light of the sun, a holy light, and you are blinded by it, consumed by it, purified by it. The end. Holy crap, I expected, having heard Ashley speak and teach, I expected there would be a twist in this solo game. I did not expect that one. Holy crap, y'all. That was amazing. But also, I have another choice to make. So maybe next week we'll do this again, but from the other side. Was that amazing or what? I can't believe we were able to stay behind and still be a part of the story. Ashley's writing is phenomenal. I just kept waiting to be told, just kidding, this is the part where you go with the girl. So if you want to get in on the fun and help me make decisions in adventures like these, you can check out the details in the description below for my streaming schedule. Right now, it's Solo Streaming Sunday, because who doesn't love alliteration? Hopefully the next ones won't include a hungover fight with a dragon. If you want to see what happens when Finzera did go on the adventure, check out this video over here.